Batting 8th, the catcher Hudson White, and batting 9th, the center fielder Ty Wilmsmeyer. It's a beautiful night for baseball here in Columbia. And the first pitch is a strike to Peyton Stovall. He's a junior from Louisiana, a team captain. He's the team's leading hitter. Hitting .327, 6 homers, and 24 runs batted in. He's quickly behind 0-2.
And that's going to be a key for Kimball is the fastball command. 91 to 95, but when he struggled this year, Dave, we've seen him. He struggles with his command a little bit. He's late. His arm's a little bit late. He misses arm side and high a good bit. But here, like I said, the last 2 or 3 outings out of the bullpen has been very sharp.
Pitch up high. 0 point kept 28 strikeouts in 21 innings, but 22 walks. Tough to square up, though. Opponents hitting just .169 this season against Kimball. The 1-2. Misses high, 2-2.
And see, once Kimball's able to establish that fastball down in the zone, then he can throw it up by design. He does that very, very well. And he's got a great 12-6 breaking ball that he can throw off of that elevated fastball.
Pitched last Saturday out of the pen at Florida, 3 innings. In relief of Ty Good. 50 pitches in that one. The 2-2. Got him. First strikeout for Kimball. In the field for the Gamecocks, it's first start of the season for Austin Brinling in center field. The North Florida transfer. Hiva Aloy takes a ball. This is a sophomore from Hawaii. Really good pickup for Arkansas. 27-game on-base streak for Aloy. He's a team leader in homers, runs batted in, and steals. It's foul back. He and the number 3 hitter, Ben McLaughlin, the only Aggies to start every game this season. Excuse me, the only Razorbacks. It's a drop down to number 2 kit. They replaced at number 1 by the Aggies of Texas A&M. We saw here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and those teams could probably swap the rest of the season several times. 2 extremely talented ball clubs.
3-1 the count on the number 2 hitter, Aloy. Transfer from Sacramento State. It's brought speed and power to Fayetteville. That's headed towards the gap. And take a bounce up against the wall. A 1-out double for Aloy. An early runner in scoring position for Arkansas.
And that's what Kimball's got to avoid is the hitter's count. That's a 3-1 count. He knows the fastball's coming. It's elevated, and Aloy does a great job of lining that in the left center field gap for a double. You know, looking at the radar gun, Kimball's yet to throw anything above 90. He's thrown a couple 89s in there. I certainly hope he's okay. I normally see him kind of sit 92, 93 and hit some 94, 95s.
Laughlin attacks the first pitch and fouls it off. Kimball has been pitching out of the pen of late. His last start was at Ole Miss on March 17th. Went 1 2/3 in that start. Didn't allow a hit, but 5 walks. Really struggled with control. South Carolina won that game 6-2, but his start prior against Longwood, he was solid 4 innings, a couple of hits, just 1 run, 4 strikeouts. And had an exciting debut start against Miami of Ohio. We were here for that kit 2 innings, no hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts. Looked electric on opening weekend. 0-2 now on the number 3 hitter, McLaughlin.
Well, you know, it's a little different when you're coming out of the bullpen and then move to a starter. You feel like sometimes you may have to save some of that energy and some of that gas to be able to pitch a lot longer. So we'll see how Kimball makes that adjustment. That pitch came in at 92 there. The thing about his 91 to 92, 93, whatever he's throwing, it looks a lot faster than that. He hides the ball extremely well. He's a shorter guy for a pitcher, but Coach Kingston actually compared him to Roy Oswalt.
Strikes out McLaughlin, second strikeout for Roman Kimball.
Well, that just shows you there how well he hides the ball, because that ball is a ball out of his hand. That ball's way up. He climbed the ladder on him, but McLaughlin unable to hold back there. That's a big out there.
So Roman Kimball trying to get around a 1-out double by Aloy. First he has to get through Nolan Souza. Freshman from Honolulu takes a strike. '23rd start of the season for Souza. He's played some second and third. Most of his starts has been at DH, but he's at third base tonight.
How would you like to be the recruiting coordinator for Arkansas, Dave? You know, you go home, tell your wife, "Yeah, I got to go to Hawaii."
Well, certainly incentive to
that's all right.
Go out and recruit some Hawaiian prospects. They've got 2 good ones. One came via the transfer.
And see, when he can get in pitchers' counts now, Kimball can do so much. He can go back foot slider. He can throw the curveball that bounces right there on top of home plate after the high fastball, or he could go high fastball again here.
The 1-2 is up high, 90 from Kimball.
The key, though, for Kimball, for me, is just staying away from the bases on balls, staying away from them walks. 2-2 count here. It's an action pitch. You want to make something happen right here.
The count is run full.
Yeah, second time he's thrown that slider, and it's just backing up on him, and he just goes down the mound, and that arm just a little bit late. He's got to get out front and finish that pitch.
Kimball strikes out the side here in the top of the first. 96 outside from Smith. Cole Messina is a junior from Somerville, South Carolina. Just named to the Buster Posey watch list for the 2nd straight season. That's headed towards the gap. Messina rounds first, and he will stop there. A leadoff single for the Gamecocks catcher.
I tell you, it's interesting. Not normally you don't see a guy he's not your prototypical leadoff guy, but you know, he told Mark Kingston he likes being a catalyst. He likes being up there up top, Dave, and he likes getting this Gamecock team going. And tell you what, they've been swinging the bats really well here of late. Ever since really Messina's been put in that number 1 hole.
Seen in the 1 hole, and Noland in the 2 hole, featured in the open. Check on Cole Messina, who runs well. Has 3 stolen bases on the season. Strike to Parker Noland, 5th-year player from Knoxville, Tennessee. Noland, the 280 hitter, 3 homers, 21 driven in. And the whole 0-2. 14-game hitting streak, 24-game on-base streak for Noland coming into tonight's game. And the doubles machine of late, tied for the team lead in doubles, tied for 6th in the SEC. So recently joined the 200 hit club, did Noland. There's the first strikeout for Hagen Smith.
I tell you right now, I mean, if you're a lefty facing Smith tonight, I mean, that is just, I was a little surprised we didn't see a sac bunt there, even in the first inning. I know that's normally not what Mark Kingston was going to do, but, you know, we're seeing a couple things that aren't normal. Eli Jones, the normal Friday night guy, is not starting tonight, and, you know, where's Brewer? He's not playing tonight. You've got a guy in Austin Brindling playing in center field, so, I mean, that was a wipeout slider, Dave. I mean, that is very tough for a left-hander.
There's a big right-handed bat in Ethan Petrie. Pulls that foul. Petrie, one of 2 Gamecocks, start every game this season. The other, Talmadge LeCroy, sophomore from Land O'Lakes, Florida. He's on a 6-game hitting streak. Typical excellent numbers from Petrie. Team leader in average hits, runs, homers, runs batted in, walks, you name it. High 0-2. Back-to-back strikeouts for Smith.
It's just overpowered. I mean, it's a ball there, but it's such a good pitch that it's borderline. And on the board here at Founders Park, it was 99. 97 on the screen that you're looking at home, but it was 99. I mean, this guy is definitely ready tonight. Smith is bringing it.
Here's Dalton Reeves, senior from Lexington, South Carolina, making his 8th start of the season. Reeves has been a hot hitter for South Carolina. 4-game hitting streak, 5-game on-base streak. Got the start at catcher on Tuesday, hit cleanup at the Citadel, went 1 for 4 with a walk, an RBI single in the first. He's given this Gamecock lineup a spark. Popped into foul territory. Souza makes the play just before the dugout. The Gamecocks will.
I tell you, they're definitely a talented team, and what they've got in a starting pitcher in Hagen Smith tonight is pretty special.
Roman Kimball was special in the top of the first. He struck out the side. Going to work here against Peyton Holt, senior from Greenwood. 324 hitter. Holt has 1 home run and 9 driven in. Second on the team in batting average coming into the series in his 2nd season at Arkansas. 1-2 the count on Holt. He's been a spark plug for the Razorbacks, played in both midweeks against Texas Tech. Popped him up. Noland retires Holt, 1 down. It's been a good start, Kip, so far for Roman Kimball here on a Friday night against the number 2 team in the country.
Yeah, and that was big right there. I know it's a pop-up. It wasn't a strikeout, obviously, but he did that in 4 pitches, and that's the key for him. If I was coaching Kimball, I would challenge him to see how many times he can just not get to 3 balls. He's a lot better when he's not walking guys, and the best way not to walk him is don't even get to 3 balls. And I know that's easier said than done, speaking from experience, but if he's throwing strikes, that makes a big difference.
Mark Higson was asked about making the switch in the press conference yesterday, and he said, we considered a lot of guys for Friday night, and guys have shown us in bursts that they could do it, but we also have a lot of guys that statistically have been more successful out of the pen. Fly ball to right. Brindling ranges over to make the play. 2 down. Getting back to picking Roman for Friday night, he said, Roman gets a nod because he has a low opponent's batting average against, which is best on the team. He's been the hardest guy to hit on our team, and his last 4 outings have been very good. And we're going to go with him because we think he gives us a chance to win. Pitch inside to the number 7 hitter, Jack Wagner. Wichita, Kansas. 323 hitter, 3 homers and 8 runs batted in. This is a 6th year of college baseball for Wagner. He's pretty well traveled. Only his 10th start of the season, but he's been productive in the games he's played in. High slugging percentage and limited at-bats. 2-1 the count on Wagner. The team is hitting just 169 against Roman Kimball this season. That's a foul ball. Danny Cricks over at third, all over that one. Our home plate umpire tonight is Mark Winters. Ray Gregson's at first. Derek Malik is at second. And Danny Cricks is at third. Two and two the count on Jack Wagner. Roman Kimball looking for a 1-2-3 top of the second. His 4th start of the season. We'll do it again. Wagner has 10 hits this season. 5 of the 10 are extra base hits, 3 of them homers.
Kimball went with his 3rd best pitch there, a slider in a 2-2 count. Let's see if he goes back to the fastball here.
High fly ball, left center. This will be Kennedy Jones. Retires Wagner, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Roman Kimball. We'll head to the bottom of the second, scoreless. Team was really excited for this weekend. Called it a big weekend, said, they all feel big now being in the SEC, but we're in a good spot. Got a great team coming in Arkansas. I feel like we're pretty darn good as well, and anxious to see hopefully a full Founders Park rocking and rolling and seeing us play great baseball. It's a really nice crowd on hand, Kit.
Yeah, it is. This is an awesome crowd, and I think there's still some folks filling in. Just a perfect night for baseball. And we talked about Texas A&M earlier. They're playing at Alabama tonight. They're winning 18-9 over Alabama.
It's really a complete team. Took the series here in Columbia a couple of weeks ago, although South Carolina salvaged it in that final game. Jones serves that out to center. Wilmsmeyer is there, 1 down. It's a solid 6-5 win over A&M in that finale. Of course, the audience Kip was a little smaller than usual because the women's basketball team was busy winning the national title that same day.
Yeah, I think that was a good excuse. Man, congrats to Dawn Staley and the women's basketball team, what they did. Undefeated season, incredible, just completely dominated. Just really fun to watch them play.
Here's Gavin Casas, senior from Pembroke Pines, Florida. 233, 5 homers, and 21 driven in. An 0-for-4 game on Tuesday at the Citadel.
we talked about Smith in the draft, and I mean that slider right there. I mean that is a elite slider. I mean I could see him pitching at the in the big leagues at the end of the season this year, coming in the 8th inning to get a big left-handed out. I mean that is really impressive.
Coach Van Horn told us on our call with him earlier today he could pitch him in the Major League bullpen right now. He's going to be a Major League starter.
Yeah, I think so too, especially the fact he's got, the fastball slider, and from what I hear, have not seen it much, but the changeup's a good pitch too. But man, I tell you, it is very impressive.
And he went, and so the count is now full on Gavin Casas. Smith had 2 strikeouts in the bottom of the first. And he gets one here in the bottom of the second. Casas down looking.
Well, front door slider here. Let's see if it caught the plate. Man, that's tough. That looks down to me, but Smith, he's around the zone so much. He doesn't walk guys. I mean, you think it's hard for a hitter to face 98, and then, but for an umpire too. I mean, it's hard. I mean, that's an 88-mile-an-hour hard slider. Did look a little bit down, but if he's going to get that call, this is really difficult. That was a good change up there, and you see that against the right-handed hitter from time to time from Smith.
Foul back by LeCroy, who's now behind 0-2. Junior from Belton, South Carolina. LeCroy enters tonight with a 9-game on-base streak. He's down on 3 pitches. Smith strikes out LeCroy, a 1-2-3 inning for Hagen Smith. And Horn about it. He said when we put this together, ideally it would be great to play 5-game weeks earlier in the season. But Fayetteville, it's cold early and not easy to get to, and a lot of teams don't want to schedule us in the midweek, he said. So we just want to get to 56 games in the schedule. You have to take them when you can get them. 1-1 the count on the number 8 hitter, Hudson White. But he said it'll toughen us up, and we have a bunch of young guys that need to play, and I want to win more than you know, but it's not everything. Sometimes you have to develop some guys. So we did it with Texas Tech, won a couple of games while playing some different players. Guys that needed to pitch. Then getting on the field will help us win games down the road, if not this year, the next year.
Yeah, that's a wise decision by Coach Van Horn. And, I tell you, you mentioned Alabama. I mean, they won the Friday night game in Tuscaloosa and then came back and lost the next 2 games on the road, which is why Texas A&M now is number 1 and they're number 2. But it's SEC is so tough. I mean, Kentucky right now is just dominating. They're 14-1 in the league, and tonight they're playing at home against Tennessee. They're down 2-1 in the 4th. There's that elevated fastball again from Kimball as he's seen talking to himself, talking to his teammates, and he's fired up. Again, definitely a Friday night type guy from a mentality standpoint. He's just got to make sure he controls his emotions. So far, so good. He's off to an excellent start, going pitch by pitch and inning by inning with Hagen Smith right now.
Here's the number 9 hitter, Ty Wilmsmeyer. He takes a strike. Wilmsmeyer, Springfield, Missouri. He's a transfer from Mizzou. Was a pinch runner in both midweek games against Texas Tech. Did start all 3 games last week in Alabama. Tough 0-for-10 series for Wilmsmeyer. He's only hitting .209 this season. He was an over 300 hitter at Mizzou. He's a terrific center fielder. Two and one the count on Wilmsmeyer. Norman Kimball, of course, a transfer as well. He transferred last season to South Carolina from Notre Dame, where he pitched in 2022. He was injured last season, redshirted, had Tommy John. 3-1 the count on the number 9 hitter, Wilmsmeyer. His last hit was April 6th against Ole Miss. That's fouled back. Kimball looking for his 5th strikeout. Instead, it's his first walk. 1-out walk for Wilmsmeyer. That'll prompt a mound visit from Matt William. Stovall struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Gamecocks have the shift on for Stovall, 3 on the right side. That just misses, and the count's 2-0. Stovall began his season on March 9th. He missed the first 12 games with a broken foot that was suffered in the preseason. He reached base in his first 20 games after he came back. And getting him back was huge for Arkansas. One not close. Back-to-back walks issued by Kimball. Wilmsmeyer trots down to second, and Stovall will take first.
It's definitely the last thing you want to see, and is an early exit for Kimball tonight. They got Ty Good warming up in the bullpen.
So we can give them a ton of length, Kip, and they're going to need it, as Roman Kimball has to leave after 2 1/3.
Yeah, let's hope Kimball's okay. He certainly was electric tonight. These 2 runners are his responsibility. Boy, that's a good play there by Messina. It's one thing Ty Good loves having a guy like Messina back there, because he does like to spike that curveball and throw it in the dirt.
1-1 the count on Aloy. 1-2. Fahiva Aloy doubled his first time up. He's 2 for 7 with a walk and a hit by pitch in the midweeks against Texas Tech. An RBI in each game, a run scored in each game. He was just 1 for 10 last weekend at Alabama, but he did walk 4 times. First and second, 1 down. The 1-2. That's a foul ball. Team leader in homers, has 9 of them, all 9 from March 5th to April 9th, just a little over a month. He's homering just about every other game in that stretch. His last one was April 9th against San Jose State. Pretty good speed on the bases for Arkansas. Wilmsmeyer is at second, Stovall is at first. Popped him up. Foul territory. LeCroy gives it a look and is drifting to the seats.
That guy in the Orioles jersey wanted no part of that pop-up. That's awesome.
Ty Good, 5th-year right-hander Graduated college at Charleston with a degree in communications, coming over to South Carolina. Count evens at 2-2.
We've seen Good throw that right-on-right changeup. Boy, this would be a great time for it. Get it down and away, get you a ground ball.
Now to left, Jones retires Aloy. Second out of the inning.
Good breaking ball there from Good. Got Aloy out on his front foot. Nothing he could do with it. I just think this is a big moment in the game for South Carolina. Again, anytime you're facing an ace like Hagen Smith, maybe the best pitcher in baseball right now, you just don't want to get behind early. You'd love to try to get on top of him if you can. Good with another first pitch strike. His fastball has been 89 to 91 since he's come in.
Gets ahead of McLaughlin, 0-2. McLaughlin struck out his first time up. That was against Roman Kimball. Kimball had 4 Ks in his 2 1/3. To right, coming in is Petrie, who makes the play. Oh, terrific play in right field by the left-on-left kip against Hagen Smith.
Yeah, one at bat on the year, and you get to face this guy.
Bradenton, Florida. He's a transfer from North Florida. Has played in 8 games prior to this one. Mostly as a pinch runner, stole a base against the Citadel. He was first-team All-A Sun last season for the North Florida Ospreys, was their leading hitter, hit .386, 3 homers and 31 driven in. A .471 on base percentage. He's someone you want to keep off base. He stole 20 of 22 a year ago. South Carolina, of course, knew about him because they played North Florida in the midweek last year. It was an upset win for the Ospreys. And in that game, Brindling was 2 for 5 with a walk, an RBI triple in the 7th to drive in the game's final run. It did some damage against the Gamecocks. Now he is a Gamecock. It's a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 3rd. A lot of speed trotting down to first in Austin Brindling.
Yeah, great at-bat there from Brindling. That was a borderline pitch there, but did a good job of holding off. I was very impressed with that 2-0 slider from Hagen Smith. Just looks as if he can throw that pitch in any count.
Expect a sacrifice here with Tippett?
I don't know, probably. You know, Tippett's been swinging the bat extremely well. You see, look at his average, you may say, Kip, you're crazy, but he's hitting 179 now, but it was pretty low. In the last 5 games, he's hitting .316 with 2 homers and 3 RBIs.
Well, he leads the SEC with 8 sack bunts.
Well, I think you got to. I mean, I'm not a big sack bunt guy, but when you're facing a guy like Smith, you want to see how many times you can get a guy in scoring position.
And now they have Brindling in a rundown. Unable to beat the tag. Play was made by Stovall. Chasing down the speedy Brindling. Now 0-2 with a count on Tippett. Tippett, as Kip mentioned, playing well of late. He homered on Wednesday at the Citadel in the 7th. That ended up being the winning run. Had a 2 for 3 night. Was hit by a pitch, stole a base. He made a diving stop in the field. He homered last weekend at Florida also. It was a good series against the Gators, 4 for 12. Strikeout victim here. 5th strikeout for Hagen Smith, 2 down.
Yeah, there's that slider again. But most importantly, the reason why they're chasing it there for strike 3 is he's shown that he can throw it for strikes.
He's hitting just 138 this season against Hagen Smith. Cole Messina is the Gamecocks' only hit. It was a leadoff single in the bottom of the first. Cole leading the team in extra base hits this season.
Boy, that's dangerous right there. I'd really like to see them take that net all the way down the third and first base line. There's no way to react to that ball. Scary.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Hagen Smith. He has 2 in every inning so far, 2 in College of Charleston. Molina doing it for Texas Tech. In the Big 12, we'll see Mason Molina tomorrow. Grounder to second. Nolan, the underhand flip to retire Souza.
Really good change up there from Ty Good. Looks just like his fastball coming out of his hand.
Well, you think back to the 5 2/3 out of the pen a couple of weeks ago against Texas A&M to keep South Carolina in that game. You think Hippie's going to need a similar type of performance here to keep South Carolina in it, going up against Hagen Smith.
Yeah,
runs are going to be hard to come by.
They are, and especially with a doubleheader tomorrow. They've announced the doubleheader starting at 1 o'clock tomorrow, and that's definitely going to make things a little bit different. We'll probably let him go as long as he possibly can, and obviously if he keeps this up, he'll go as long as possible.
Gets ahead of Peyton Holt, 1-2. Holt popped up his first time up. Holt played in both midweeks against Texas Tech, was 1 for 8 with a walk, an RBI single on Tuesday. Started a couple of games at Alabama last weekend. A nice series, was 3 for 7. All 3 hits on Saturday, including his first home run of the season. Pitch close, it's ball 2.
Great downward action from Ty Good, one of the few Gamecock pitchers that does a really good job of that.
Did he go? No. This is Ray Gregson over at first. Ty Good did not agree, neither did the crowd here at Founders Park.
He wanted that. I didn't think he went watching it live. We'll see right here. Yeah, he just held up there. That was close.
The pitcher next to me giving the hitter the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I call it like I see it.
Well, it's ball 4, a 1-out walk for Peyton Holt. That check swing call was pretty big. Kendall Diggs, the number 6 hitter, flew out to center field his first time up, 262, 5 homers and 22 driven in. They held Diggs out of the midweeks. Van Horn told me it slid head first, into second base against McNeese earlier this season, jammed that shoulder, and they knew it hurt him. It's been bothering him for 4 or 5 weeks now. So they just gave him a little bit of time off to get the inflammation and the swelling down. He's feeling a lot better. Didn't swing a bat all week until last night's practice. He's one of 3 team captains. It's a preseason first team all SEC selection, their top returning hitter. Called strike 3. Good, gets Diggs looking.
That's just a great fastball there on the black, outer half. Just good stuff from Ty Good. And I thought he might try to go after him with a changeup there just to induce the ground ball double play. But when you can dot that and get the strikeout, that was big.
It's Jack Wagner at the plate who takes ball 1. Wagner flew out to left field his first time up. 312, 3 homers, 8 driven in. He was the DH in both midweek games against Texas Tech. DH again tonight. A combined 2 for 4 with a couple of walks, hit by pitch, a couple of ribbies against the Red Raiders. Check on Holt over at first. Peyton Holt, 3 for 4 on the season. Stolen base chances. That one misses. Strike zone getting a little tighter.
Yeah, I thought the first one was a strike. The second pitch looked like the same exact, it looked like a replay. And that didn't look down, and it didn't look outside.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 4th, a man on first for the Razorbacks. It's Peyton Holt. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ty Good, and Arkansas will strike.
That was the first pitch of the game to Cole Messina.
First of his 6 strikeouts was Parker Nolan, who takes strike 1. Coach Van Horn, when talking about Smith, a quiet, nice young man. Just not all about himself. He's a team guy. Pretty humble for someone who's going to be a first-round pick. Coach Van Horn said he'll attack you on the field. And, you know, off the field, he's a different person than on, and I love that, he said. One of our team captains, even though he's quiet, it's about his work ethic and how he handles himself, and that's why he got all the votes. But he's someone who, if we told him he's closing today, he could probably touch 100. He's been a closer in the past, but it's made him a really good starter in that he's learned how to start. You can't just go 100% every pitch. Gets Nolan for strikeout number 7.
I mean, that's unhittable. If Mark Winters is going to give that pitch up and away, I thought that was off the plate a little bit, but boy, I tell you, that's really difficult for a left-on-left matchup.
Petrie, strikeout victim, his first time up. Got those numbers, 321, 15 homers, 38 driven in. Leading South Carolina in just about every category. He's 1 for 3 with a couple of walks on Tuesday at the Citadel. An RBI triple in the first. A nice trip back to his home state last weekend, 4 for 13 with a couple of walks, 6 driven in against the Gators, homered on Saturday and Sunday. That was 38 in his career. And it's tied for 12th place all time here at South Carolina. Eric Stanton, who played in the late 90s, and he
former teammate, yeah. Stanton.
That one hits Petrie. .6-mile-per-hour fastball inside, gets Petrie.
This should rile them up, especially if they don't call it.
After review of the ruling on the field stands, the runner is hit by the pitch.
Now, Coach Van Horn not pleased, but it'll be the 3rd base runner of the game for South Carolina against Smith. Messina singled in the first, Brindling walked in the 3rd. Now Petrie's hitting the fourth. Fourth hit batter this season for Smith. Ball one at Dalton Reeves, who popped up in foul territory his first time up. He's hitting .333, 4 homers, 13 driven in.
And this is something, you're on the road in the SEC. You just had a play that you disagree with. Smith's got to calm down here and make pitches. It's a big moment for the Gamecocks. And this is where the South Carolina crowd needs to get involved here. The Gamecock dugout seems kind of quiet tonight. You'd think they'd be all excited right now, and this is a big moment. You got a chance to get Smith rattled. It's the time to do it.
A 4-pitch walk for Dalton Reeves. First bit of trouble for Hagen Smith as Kennedy Jones steps in. Junior from Norfolk, Virginia. He's a UNCG transfer. Being an even 300, 5 homers, 26 runs batted in. Jones, good numbers with runners in scoring position this season. .382. 3 homers and 21 ribbies. Another ball from Hagen Smith. There's that loud crowd you were asking for, Kip.
Yeah, about 6 pitches too late.
Jones, the second leading hitter for the Gamecocks, recently joined the 200 hit club. No, strike 2.
I'm not mistaken, I may have just heard the whistler. Did he come from Vanderbilt all the way here? Is he on the road? Did you hear that too, Dave?
This will be a fun series for him to check out. Slice foul by Kennedy Jones. Kennedy was 0 for 2 with a walk. Sac fly RBI on Tuesday at the Citadel. Hit in the head with a relay at second. It was a scary moment. Big strikeout for Hagen Smith. Eight Ks now for Smith as we take another look.
Yeah, there's that slider again, and it just looks so much like a fastball out of his hand, and that's the great pitch there, because again, he's thrown so many for strikes. He's shown all those hitters, hey, I can throw this for a strike pretty much in any count. Makes it so difficult to lay off the one in the dirt. And when you're having to gear up for 97. it's tough.
Gavin Casas struck out his first time up. Casas returning to his home state last weekend at Florida. Was 2 for 15 in that series. Both hits on Friday. He got his first collegiate triple. Plenty of power, has 5 on the season. Grounded to third, Souza takes care of Casas, and that'll do it for the Gamecocks in the bottom of the 4th. They will leave 2. We'll head to the top of the 5th.
It's an incredible ballpark.
He loves his team. He said his team is fun to be around. A lot of good teammates, he said, on the team. Guys that would be starting at other places, but they don't sit around and pout. He just really likes the attitude of his team, whether it's in the dugout, on the bus. Van Horn said it's a really good group to be around. It's in White at the plate for the Razorbacks. Struck out his first time up. Flared out to center field. Drop in for a base hit. Leadoff single in the top of the 5th. Second hit of the game for Arkansas.
Looked like Brenling just slipped there. Didn't get a great read off of that. You know, it's tough. Again, not only offensively starting against Smith as he's having to do left on left, but also hadn't had much action there in center field. Every base runner is important.
Another check on White. Maybe trying to see if Wilmsmeyer, will show at the plate. Arkansas, only 10 sacrifice hits this season. Didn't sacrifice much. Number 9 hitter Wilmsmeyer in 209, a homer and 12 driven in. Another check on the catcher White, who did not have a stolen base this season. Wilmsmeyer started all 54 games last year in center field for Mizzou. Good looking pitch from Ty Good.
Yeah, good breaking ball there. We saw him do it last inning. Let's see if he goes with a elevated fastball here after that high breaking ball.
Wilmsmeyer gets a piece. He was a .311 hitter with 7 homers and 25 driven in for the Missouri Tigers a year ago. All 7 of those homers were in SEC play. Messina will throw down first. And White is back. Another strikeout for Ty Good. This time he gets Wilmsmeyer.
Yeah, went with the breaking ball there, and again he spikes it down. That's a great pitch. Looks like a strike out of his hand. Good job by Messina attacking that ball after it gets away from him a little bit. Kept that runner at first, keeps the double play in order.
Let's check on White.
You know, people ask me all the time, what's different about the game now? And there's one thing I know I wish I had back when I played, Dave, is the shift. Because when you got a lefty up and there's a runner at first base, I used to had learned the hard way that changeup sometimes I get a guy to roll it over and it ends up as a base hit in the 4-hole. But now when you've got 2 of your infielders, you know, the shortstop playing on the other side and the second baseman playing in the 4-hole, now you can throw that changeup.
High fly ball, right field. Petrie will camp under it. Takes care of Stovall. Ty Good seems unfazed by that leadoff single from Hudson White.
We probably had a good discussion on how he wants him to attack Aloy here.
He's 1 for 2 with a double. Doubled in the first, flew out to left field in the third. His first season at Arkansas, coming over from Sacramento State. Last year he was a consensus freshman All-American at Sacramento State. Hit .376, 14 homers, 46 ribbies, and was the WAC Freshman of the Year. Great pickup for the Razorbacks, but he's in the hole 0-2. To the left side, LeCroy. A strong throw, and Arkansas will
See if they can get something across home plate to get the lead.
In the bottom of the 5th, LeCroy takes a ball. 6 innings is the season high for Hagen Smith, and he's gone exactly 6 innings in each of his last 5 starts and in 7 of his 9 starts this season. They try not to extend him. I asked Coach Van Horn about the 6 inning starts because seems to be a pattern throughout the rotation, Kip. And he said, you know, we've been trying to take care of these guys with pitch count. We'll get them out an inning early every start. They say, hey, we're fine. But I say, I know, but we're going to need that inning in May or June. He said, our bullpen has been so good, it's not like we're dreading going to the bullpen on a Friday in the 6th or the 7th. And we have some options down there. I know as a former starter, Kip, you have probably a different mentality, but he wants to keep his guys fresh. And
well, yeah, I mean, and you certainly can appreciate that, and it's certainly something that's not necessarily a bad approach, but the only thing for me is, you know, if you wait till May for the first time you're throwing the 90th pitch of the game, if you will, in the 7th inning with runners on 2nd and 3rd, it's just, I don't know, to me, it's really difficult, because I know for me as a former starter, it's my game. I want to be able to finish it if I can, and if my pitch count is low, I certainly want to stay in there.
Leadoff walk for Talmadge LeCroy. South Carolina leads Division I in walks. 263 coming into tonight. They've added 3 to that total. 11 more walks than Texas A&M this season, who's in 2nd. Brinling, look out.
I tell you, he is, you know, we talk about trying to hit against a guy throwing 98, but let alone bunt. You've got one at bat on the season. This is definitely a tough task for him. It's one thing facing, you know, BP every day, and even the facing live pitching, especially coming from the left side, throwing 98 is tough.
Looking to sacrifice. Lays down a beauty. The sacrifice successful. LeCroy down to 2nd. Runner in scoring position for the Gamecocks.
And that was a break there, because I don't know if Brenlin gets the fastball down. I mean, that's a slider there, a much easier pitch for Brenlin to bunt. A little shocked at that pitch call there.
It'll be a 1-out RBI opportunity for Will Tippett, who struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Takes low and away. .178 hitter, 3 homers, 18 runs batted in. Homered in the midweek at the Citadel, homered last weekend at Florida. The other one against Clemson. Bat coming alive lately for Tippett. Mark Kingston said he's worked hard. He's made an adjustment to just go to the right side of the plate. He was a switch hitter, but focusing on one side of the plate, and it's paid immediate dividends. Really tough pitch from Smith, 1-2 the count.
Yeah, he's pulling off those sliders. You'd think the approach would definitely be looking to drive this ball to right center field. No matter what pitch, whether it's the fastball or the slider, that would be a better approach for Tippett here in this situation.
Talmadge LeCroy takes his lead off 2nd. 2-2 the count on Tippett. The count is run full. Paul Messina's on deck for South Carolina. Another walk issued by Smith. Walks the number 9 hitter, Will Tippett. 4th walk for Hagen Smith. 75 pitches. Season high is 105 against Ole Miss. Did that in 6 innings. Premier matchup here, Hagen Smith and Cole Messina. And it's ball 1. Cole is 1 for 2. He singled in the first, struck out in the third. Cole was excellent last weekend at Florida, 6 for 13 with 4 walks, 3 ribbies, 4 runs scored, and stole a couple of bases in the series opener. Running well in this leadoff spot. To the left side, nice stop made at third by Souza, but everyone will be safe. Gamecocks have the bases loaded. 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th.
And a little surprised that Smith goes with the slider there right after Messina was extremely late on 95. He was trying to get the ground ball, obviously, and if that's right to Souza over there at third, is probably a 5-4-3 double play, even though Messina runs extremely well for a catcher.
It's a multi-hit game for Cole Messina.
This is where you wonder if Parker Nolan may just be hunting the slider right here and just trying to play pepper and hit the ball to left field. You know he's going to see it.
1 for 8 this season with the bases loaded, 4 ribbies. First pitch is fouled back. Couple of strikeouts for Nolan so far against Smith. A good series last weekend at Florida, 4 hits, homered, 2 doubles, 4 ribbies in that series. He's behind 0-2.
Corners in for Arkansas. Anything hit to the first or third baseman, they're coming home with it.
Nolan to short. Aloy gets Nolan at first. And Parker Nolan gets an RBI as Lee Croy comes in to score. Gamecocks take an early lead.
Well, that is a great play there by Aloy. Just a capper, the slider that he got there. That's just a wonderful play. I think Parker Nolan thought he was safe there. I wonder if we're seeing another guys wanting to, think they're safe, but it's just one of those that I'd rather keep that in my back pocket if I could. It was clearly out there.
Certainly a productive out from Parker Nolan. He drives in a run, moves the runners over. Second and third, 2 down for Ethan Petrie. Tippett's the runner at third, Messina's the runner at second. They're going to intentionally walk Petrie. The left-handed hitter on deck and Dalton Reeves. Reeves is 0 for 1 with a walk. It's a tough strike. Twice last weekend at Florida. Played in all 3 games, started at DH on Saturday and Sunday, went 4 for 8. 5 ribbies. That's 4 homers and limited at-bats this season. The other two against his former team, PC. Big rip, counts 1 and 2. Tippett's on third, Messina's on second, Petrie's on first. Called, strike 3. In Fayetteville, the series could have gone really either way, so it's one of those series where we looked at it and thought this would be tough on the road. Just have to catch teams at the right time. We said Gamecocks did really good, and they're mixing up their pitching against us this weekend. We saw that with Kimball getting the start. Had to exit after 2 1/3. And Ty Good has been excellent in relief so far, Kit.
Yeah, he has been. He's put up a lot of zeros, and the biggest one coming in that 3rd inning with 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Just did a wonderful job of coming in that situation. Or 2 out, or 1 out, excuse me.
3-1 the count on the number 3 hitter, Ben McLaughlin. Senior from Golden, Colorado. Leadoff walk for McLaughlin, who's the team leader in walks entering this series. Second straight inning that the Razorbacks have had the leadoff man on. Ball 1 to Nolan Souza. Souza 0 for 2, struck out in the 1st, grounded out in the 4th. He had that pinch hit game-winning sac fly on Tuesday and probable comeback, trailing 7-0. They came back to win 9-8 and started at third base on Wednesday, went 1 for 3. Homered in the 2nd inning, that was his 7th of the season. Tied for 2nd on the team in homers. Skips past Messina, allowing McLaughlin to advance to 2nd on the wild pitch. Now a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Count is full on Souza. Pretty solid looking freshman, 6'3", 220. Did not go. It's Danny Cricks. So back-to-back walks issued by Good here in the 6th.
It's an interesting situation. Arkansas in the meat of their order, number 5 guy, 1st and 2nd, no outs. You wouldn't think bunt here, but if he's gonna bunt, take the out.
Showing early, takes a strike. Hope 0 for 1 with a walk, popped up in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. Perfect bunt. LeCroy, it's going to be a tough play. The throw is wide.
Pitch to bunt on. Thought Good may try to throw a fastball there, maybe get a hard bunt right back at you and get a double play. Doing a 1-6-3.
It's an infield single for Holt. 3rd hit of the game for Arkansas. 2-0 the count on Kendall Diggs. Diggs is 0 for 2. He flew out to center field in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. 260 hitter, 5 homers, 22 runs batted in. As I mentioned earlier, he did not play in the midweek games against Texas Tech. They gave him a rest. Opponents hitting 226 this season against Veach, who pitched twice last weekend at Florida, earned the save on Friday. Delivers a strike to Kendall Diggs. Really difficult situation, Kip, one you've been in before.
Yeah, I've been in one of these 2-0 count to had to face Jeff Baker, Khalil Green, and Michael Johnson for Clemson back in the day. 3 extremely good hitters, one former Golden Spikes Award winner and Khalil Green, and luckily we ended up getting out of that inning and went on to win the game against Clemson. That was an exciting moment there my senior year at Sarge Fry.
You can mention what you did in that inning.
Yeah, struck out the side. It was fun. I remember getting excited, and we ended up taking a big lead after about my next inning pitched. I think it was like the 6th inning, and Coach Tanner tried to take me out of the game. And I can't say on air exactly how that conversation went, but he did not win that battle.
Gamecocks are hoping for the same performance tonight from Chris Veach. Bases loaded, nobody out. 3-2 the count on the number 6 hitter, Kendall Diggs. He strikes out Diggs. 1 down.
That's a big strikeout there for Veach. Goes with the go-to pitch, the changeup again. I don't care how many times you watch it on film, but until you see it live in the batter's box, it's just so tough to wait on it. It's like it never gets there. So Diggs out in front of it there. Field's playing back here for a ground ball double play opportunity.
It's ball 1 to Jack Wagner, who's 0 for 2. Flew out to left field in the 2nd, struck out his last time up. That was in the 4th. Transfer from Tarleton State. That will get past Messina. Here comes McLaughlin. We are tied. First run of the game for Arkansas. Souza advances to 3rd. Holt advances to 2nd on the wild pitch. Transfers for the Razorbacks at 337, 15 homers, 56 ribbies a year ago for Tarleton State. Led the team in homers and runs batted in. Before that, 4 years at Kansas. He redshirted back in 2022, missed the season due to an injury, so he's in his 6th year of college baseball. Veteran presence at the plate. High fly ball. Center field, Brinling makes the play. Souza will tag. A sac fly for Wagner, and Arkansas takes a 2-1 lead.
Not the inning the Gamecocks were looking for. They get the lead. Anytime you have a shutdown opportunity, after you score, you want to try to put up a 0 there to keep the momentum. Now it's shifted back to Arkansas. Still a big out here. It's a 1-run game. Keep it there.
2-out RBI opportunity for Hudson White. White's 1 for 2, struck out in the 3rd, singled in the 5th. Another transfer coming over from Texas Tech. Started on Tuesday against his former team, went 1 for 4 with an RBI double, and then got a rest on Wednesday. Started a couple of games last weekend at Alabama. Their primary catcher, but they've used 3. The count on White. Peyton Holt leading off 2nd. There's a strike. ball 4. Third walk of the inning, first issued by Chris Veach. First and second, 2 down for number 9 hitter Ty Wilmsmeyer. We may have a pinch hitter here. This is Jason Jones, who's getting some instruction from Coach Thompson. Jones, a sophomore from Savannah, Texas. 17th game of the season. He's made 14 starts. Started both midweek games against Texas Tech. Going the other way. Petrie towards the line. Ranges over to make the play. Retire Jones. And that'll do it for Arkansas in the top of the 6th. They get 2. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th.
They are really hurt there for the Gamecocks with the bases loaded, but no big hits still in this game. To score a run. No hit has scored a run. We've seen a wild pitch, a sac fly, and then a ground ball to third base to score the run, or shortstop, excuse me.
As dominant as Hagen Smith has been, he's certainly been that. He has 9 strikeouts. Typically only goes 6 innings, so this probably Kid will be his last half inning of work.
Yeah, I would
by
think
past
so.
history, he's gone exactly 6 in each of the last 5 starts.
And the pitch count's up there. He's got 88 pitches now on the night. And looking at it for the next level for Smith, I mean, gosh, in the big leagues now, if you throw 6 innings, I mean, that's about all you're expected or asked to do, even if you're a number 1 guy.
Gets Jones. Ten Ks for Hagen Smith.
So this is where, if I'm Casas, I used to talk to hitters all the time, learned a ton about how to approach them and what they're thinking. A lot of professional hitters will sit on a pitch, and there you go, he got it. The left-on-left matchup with Smith, I mean, you're going to see a slider at some point during the at-bat. I would sit on it. Makes it pretty impossible to hit 95 or 97, but it's tough enough facing left-on-left. You're going to get that. I just a little surprised that these Gamecock hitters, especially Casas, aren't just sitting on that slider.
Going to the count. First baseman Casas. Did he go? No. Double-digit strikeouts now in 7 of his 10 starts this season. Preseason All-American Hagen Smith. There's another one. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, 4 straight sliders to Casas, 2 for strikes, and then he gets you to 2 strikes after you take them, and then it's almost impossible. I mean, that's a very tough pitch to lay off of. Hagen Smith now is showing why he's the number 1 pitcher really in the SEC for me. Team just took the lead, and he smells victory, and he's coming out and really strutting his stuff here for a shutdown inning.
2-time SEC Pitcher of the Week this season. First time after that Oregon State game in February when he tossed 6 shutout innings with 17 strikeouts. Tying the Arkansas single game record. He needed only 78 pitches to do that. It's unbelievable.
That is unreal.
It's pop foul. Baker has been on base Scored the run for South Carolina. Struck out in the second, walked and scored in the fifth. Came in on an RBI ground out from Parker Noland. Typically puts together really good at-bats. Most of the time, get ahead in the count, but down 0-2 here. Hagen Smith.
Yeah, but he's making him work here. Hagen Smith still throwing 96-97 here in the 6th inning, about to make his 99th pitch of the night.
Grounded to short. Aloy. 1-2-3 inning for Hagen Smith in the bottom of the 6th.
Walks. You'd be surprised that it's still 2-1, but there just hasn't been any big hits.
It's probably going to be the 4th hit of the game for Arkansas. LeCroy come up with a barehanded attempt here as we take another look. Stovall laying one down. It's a good idea.
Yeah, it was a late break too. He squared around and LeCroy just kind of stood there and didn't start coming until it was actually bunted.
Leadoff man on for Arkansas once again, 3rd straight inning. Base runner for Vahiva Aloy. Aloy's 1 for 3. He doubled in the 1st, flew out to left field in the 3rd, and grounded out in the 5th. His first season at Arkansas. Last season, a consensus freshman All-American for Sacramento State when he hit .376, 14 homers, 46 ribbies. WAC Freshman of the Year. There's been a few notable Sacramento State players to win WAC Freshman of the Year, some major leaguers. Big names like Rhys Hoskins. Veach off the mound. Retires Aloy. Stovall advances to 2nd. Veach, of course, a former two-way player, very good athlete.
Yeah, extremely good. We saw him last year. I believe it was last year. Hit sometimes.
Early in the season.
Yeah. They were down a couple guys and looked very good up at the plate.
Big year hitting when he played for Presbyterian. Strike 1 of Ben McLaughlin. McLaughlin 0 for 2 with a walk. He walked and scored a run in the 6th. It's fouled off. In the hole 0-2. RBI opportunity with Stovall at 2nd. Just missing inside. Van Horn told me that Ben's been a really good hitter. He knows the strike zone, and that's the key. It's being a guy who can hit for average and a little bit of power and will lay off those borderline pitches early in the count. And he's someone who does that. He's a tough out. Grounded to 2nd, Noland. 2 down, Stovall advances to 3rd. Okay, these are these big spots in close games. Runner at 3rd, 2 down. The cleanup hitter, Nolan Souza, to the plate.
Yeah, and again, it's seems as if one runs so much, but obviously getting Hagen Smith out of the game could be a blessing for South Carolina, as it looks like his night is done, as the Arkansas bullpen has got some action in it. But obviously we know how good that Arkansas bullpen is, but just a different look may be something they need.
He strikes out Souza, and Arkansas will get another double-digit strikeout performance for Hagen Smith. Austin Brindling leading things off here in the bottom of the 7th. Look at that line. Only surprised the 5 walks. Only 2 hits, 11 Ks in 6 innings. And again, Gamecocks lead the nation in walks, so they get theirs.
Yeah, and you know, he was a little bit erratic there after he asked for the replay on Ethan Petrie when he hit him on the arm guard there, and I felt like that was South Carolina's chance to really get things going. That is a heavy, heavy fastball. Also really fast. It was 98. Good gracious.
1-2 the count on Brindling. There's a walk and a sack bunt so far tonight. Through the left side. A leadoff single here in the bottom of the 7th. Speedy Brindling is aboard.
Well, that was a great piece of hitting there by Brindling. Takes the fastball down and away and just hits it right where it's pitched. Stayed on that extremely well. You see him giving a fist pump to his teammates, running down the first base line, trying to ignite this crowd. I don't know what they're waiting on to get excited for, but you got the number 2 team in the country. You got 7,000 people here on a Friday night, perfect weather. Oh no, that's scary.
Tippett squared to bunt, got hit in the head. There's 30 strikeouts in those 23 innings, just 8 walks. Opponents hitting 145 against Gackle. Cena chases, 0-1 the count. Cole's 2 for 3, singles in the 1st and the 5th. Ten homers, 33 runs batted in, 299 hitter. Oh, and 2. Messina didn't love the call. Brindling leads off second, Tippett off first. Good speed on the bases for South Carolina. Second on the team and runs batted in. High fly ball, right field. Diggs makes the play. The runners will stay put.
That was an absolute cannon from Diggs there. It's a good job by the Gamecock runners of knowing the scouting report there. Not running on that. That was a cannon.
Parker Nolan 0 for 3. He's driven in the Gamecocks' only run. RBI ground out in the 5th. 274 hitter, 3 homers, 21 driven in. Vanderbilt transfer, fouls it back.
It's been a well-played game. No errors on either side, 2-1. Not quite sure what the Gamecock fans are just kind of maybe sitting back, just waiting on something great to happen. I think there'd be a little bit more of an electric atmosphere here right now. Trying to make it tough on the road team, but just really quiet tonight. Got a great crowd too, Dave. This is one of the better crowds of the season.
For good reason. Number 2 team in the country in town. Warm Friday night here in Columbia. First game of a 3-game set. We'll play 2 tomorrow. Rain in the forecast for Sunday. First and second, 1 down, 1 and 2 the count on Parker Nolan. Should tell you as well that after Jones pinch hit for Wilmsmeyer, he entered the game in left field. They moved Holt from left to center. So it's Jones, Holt, and Diggs left to right in the outfield.
And around the SEC in scores, Vanderbilt's beating Florida 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Mississippi State's up on Auburn 5-1, bottom 7. LSU's up 11-1 at Missouri in the 5th. Texas A&M did win that game against Alabama 10-5. Or excuse me, the second game of the doubleheader, they also won 18-9. Clemson beat Pitt 6-4. Georgia won 17-6 in 8 innings. And Kentucky wins again at home against Tennessee, a number 3 team against number 4. They won 5-3.
Nolan lines that to center. There's Holt. 2 away.
And some may ask, that could have been the sac fly if you bunted him over, but if you bunted him over too, you may have ended up leaving first base open in the walk to Petrie. So now it looks as if Petrie will probably not get walked intentionally, but may get pitched around a little bit here, but we'll see.
Petrie is 0 for 1. Struck out in the first, was hit by a pitch in the 4th, and intentionally walked in the 5th. Team leader in homers and runs batted in. Batting average as well. One and 1 the count on the All-American Ethan Petrie. Bindling leads off second, tip it off first. Big cut, 1 and 2. Petrie broke the South Carolina freshman record for homers and runs batted in a season ago, both previously held by Justin Smoke. It's a strikeout for Gackle. He gets Pet. It's important to have that electric environment this weekend. 2 really good teams. So we play good teams all year. Our strength of schedule is as hard as anybody's in the country. So we've been battle tested. It's just another chance to play great baseball in a great conference. Tremendous series between South Carolina and Arkansas. Not a lot of hits, Kip. There have been a lot of base runners. Neither team really getting that big hit, though, with runners on base.
Yeah, and that's why we're in a 2-1 game here. It's a nail biter. It's a game South Carolina certainly is still in. And, you know, you kind of feel like you'd be shocked if this game ends 2-1, but South Carolina just unable to get a big hit with several runners on base tonight.
It's grounded foul. Off the bat of Peyton Holt. Holt's been on base twice. He popped up in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, singled his last time up in the 6th. Pitch outside. Holt really hurt South Carolina last year in this series. He was 6 for 10 with a couple of walks, was constantly on base. Scored 4 runs in that series. Just gets a piece.
We're talking about the changeup being the go-to pitch for Veach. He's not afraid to throw it, as you see there in the 3-2 count. Be shocked if it's not another one here. He goes with the fastball there, but I like it. You know, there were times that early on in the year I felt like he was really throwing the changeup. I mean, almost 90% of the time, and not using his fastball. That's the thing. It's 90 to 93. It's a good fastball.
Ball 4, good at bat. Peyton Holt, leadoff walk in the top of the 8th. He's aboard for the 3rd time tonight.
And the walks are killing the Gamecocks right now. Especially that leadoff guy. Normally a leadoff walk finds his way home somehow.
There goes the runner, the throw from Messina. Not in time to get Holt. 4th stolen base of the season for Peyton Holt.
See Messina asking for interference there. What a throw, though.
Second base.
Cole Messina has a terrific arm. He's thrown out 29% of base stealers so far this season. Up from last season when he threw out 22%. Here's another look hit.
Yeah, it was a fastball, tough pitch to throw on. I'm not sure the hitter could do anything there. I don't think that. I mean, he threw a bullet one hopper down to second base. I mean, that was just a great throw from Messina.
Diggs had to contort his body to stay out of the way.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Runner safe at second.
Once again, watching that live, I mean, did you think it was even that close, Dave?
I thought he was in.
Yeah, I thought he was safe easy. I just.
It's the 4th stolen base of the season for Peyton Holt, now 4 for 5. RBI opportunity for Kendall Diggs. Pulls that to right. Diggs. It's a foul ball. Dangerous off the bat of Kendall Diggs. He was a 2nd-team All-SEC selection last year when he hit .299 with 12 homers and 63 ribbies to lead the team. Numbers a little down this season, dealing with that shoulder. Which is pop foul. Again, Diggs sat out both midweeks. His non-throwing shoulder had been bothering him a lot longer than they knew about. Had some swelling there. Coach Van Horn said, I appreciate his effort to try to tough it out. It's been bugging him. See that certain swings was bothering him, so they wanted to get him back to 100%. He said if he's not 100% by Friday, I won't play him. Here he is in the lineup, so I guess he's 100%. Diggs will be on first. Kendall Diggs is hit for the first time this season. He was the only Razorback in the lineup without a hit by pitch.
And right now for the Gamecocks, you see pitching coach Matt Williams come out. You know,
This is Ross Lovich, senior from Overland Park, Kansas. He's another Missouri transfer. Pops pops up, a bunt attempt, and a sliding catch made by Messina.
And you see it, I was hoping, not saying that they throw the fastball there. And fastball there, perfect pitch, up in the zone. Tough one to not pop up, and Messina does his job and makes the sliding catch. Big out there for the Gamecocks, Dave.
It's first and second, one down. The runner's unable to advance. Here's the catcher, Hudson White. White's 1 for 2. He's been on base twice. Struck out in the third, singled in the fifth, walked in the sixth. Off 2 solid seasons at Texas Tech. Last year was an all Big 12 honorable mention. Hitting .296 with 11 homers and 49 ribbies. Jones runs out of room. A souvenir. White brings postseason experience as well. He played in the Gainesville Regional with the Red Raiders. He was a freshman All-American back in 2022. He was the Big 12 Freshman of the Year, starting 58 games and 39 behind the plate. Earned an invite to the USA Baseball Collegiate National Team Training Camp. Out to right center. Brinling showing off the range. He tracks it down. Well, the Gamecocks, Skip, they had first and second, nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. Nothing doing. Arkansas, top of the 8th, first and second, nobody out. 2 outs now. Here's Jason Jones.
Yeah, this is one of those games where, you know, you look at it and you see the amount of walks. There's been 12 walks combined by these two pitching staffs, but other than that, an extremely well pitched game. There's been no 2-out hits tonight for South Carolina or for Arkansas. Both of them 0 for 7 for the night.
Jones pinch hit for Ty Wilmsmeyer in the 6th and flew out to right field, so he's 0 for 1. 220 hitter, 3 homers, 14 driven in. Grounded foul. Jones did not play last weekend at Alabama. Played mostly in the non-conference portion of the season. This is only his second SEC game. The first one was against Mizzou. First and second, 2 down, 2-out RBI opportunity for Jones. Peyton Holt is the runner at second. Kendall Diggs the runner at first. The 2-2. Chase, count is run full. How does Marlock go with here, kid?
You know, I don't know. He's been throwing a lot of breaking balls here. He's probably going to go to a 3-2 breaking ball again. He did.
Bases are loaded for Arkansas. At the top of the 8th, 2 down.
You know, that could be country in a 2-1 nail biter here. And they bring in Jake McCoy. He was on the shelf back in the beginning of the season, did come back and mid-March, and he's got a lively arm. He's a freshman. They really like this young man from Fort Mill, South Carolina. His fastball's 90-94. Slider's really good. He's got really good stuff, and Coach Matt Williams just says he's got to harness it and really try to be in the strike zone. That's a good slider right there. He comes in, obviously, to face the lefty here. Leadoff guy, Stovall.
High fly ball towards the line. Petrie makes the play in fair territory. And Arkansas is also Kip, a guy that teammates root for because he was a great teammate even when he wasn't playing. He worked extremely hard. One of those great stories that you see that if guys have a good attitude and keep working, good things can happen for them.
Yeah, that's always good to see, and it's fun to be a part of that too. You always love seeing a guy that doesn't really start off as a starter and ends up being one, and he has been outstanding for South Carolina.
He's got all sorts of power. Last season hit 12 homers for Presbyterian. Led them in homers and runs batted in. 2 3-run bombs against his former team. Homers last weekend at Florida. Called strike 3.
See a backdoor slider there, and it's a really good pitch. Oh, we've seen some elite stuff tonight from this Arkansas Razorbacks, starting with Smith and now with Geico. It's just good stuff, Dave.
It's a deep bullpen as well for Arkansas. Counts 1-0 on Kennedy Jones. Jones is 0 for 3. Fought to center field in the second. Pair of strikeouts. To know the count on the UNCG transfer, Kennedy Jones. Two and one. Deep bullpen, Kip. It's the reason why Coach Van Horn can afford to pull his starters after 6 and keep them fresh.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different approach, but when you got that amount of depth in the bullpen, it certainly can make sense. The only thing that's a little bit different now, you got a doubleheader tomorrow. No game on Sunday, so not as easy to bounce back after a multi-inning appearance if you're a reliever tonight. Like what he saw.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Gackel. He gets Jones looking.
Gackel just comes back with 98 on the black. Gosh.
So 2 down, nobody on. And a pinch hitter for South Carolina. This is Tyler Causey.
We've seen Causey face the righties and Casas face the lefties. Causey's another guy that's swung the bat pretty well for South Carolina. Definitely a guy with one swing of the bat could tie this game up.
Gets under it. It'll be the right fielder, Diggs. And a 1-2-3 inning for Gabe Gackel. That To the top of the ninth, Arkansas leads South Carolina 2-1. Hiva Aloy at the plate. Takes outside. Aloy 1 for 3. Doubled in the first, flew out to left field in the third. Grounded out in the fifth, sack bunt in the seventh. Out of Hawaii, his father Jamie played baseball at Hawaii. Was drafted 1999 by the Giants. Gamecocks dugout there. 48th round draft pick, so we don't have that anymore. His brother plays for BYU, a primary starter there as a freshman. He's having a nice season playing in the Big 12. McCoy strikes out Aloy.
There's that live fastball from McCoy. Just a perfectly elevated fastball there. That's a good hitter too, Aloy. I know his average is not the best on the team, but I think that's their best hitter.
It's their best power threat for sure.
Yeah.
9 homers, 36 ribbies. Double-digit homers for Arkansas. And their formula for winning, it's throwing strikes, fielding the baseball, and finding a way to score enough runs on the weekend to beat you a couple of times. One and one the count on Ben McLaughlin. 2-1. Jake McCoy pitched an inning and a third on Tuesday in the midweek at the Citadel. Three and one. Back injury in the fall, made his debut on March 16th at Ole Miss. It's a one-out walk for McLaughlin.
And he was rattled a little bit, and I saw it happening. There was an opportunity there for, I felt like, the crowd to make it really tough on him after he hit Petrie and asked for the review and didn't get it, and then I think threw 6 straight balls, and I think they finally came to life then and ended up, I believe, turning things around after that and pitching extremely well. But this is a moment in a game, you know, Arkansas comes to town, you want to make it really tough for them. Just been just kind of eerily quiet tonight.
Everyone looking on. Souza in the hole 0-2. And McCoy strikes out Souza. Second strikeout for Jake McCoy.
This young freshman looks extremely well. Another good elevated fastball. Extremely difficult to hit when you're throwing the breaking ball for strikes, and then you've got a 93, 94 mile-an-hour fastball from the left side.
Strike one to Peyton Holt. It's been a problem for South Carolina. He's been on base 3 times, a single and a couple of walks. Came to Arkansas last year as a JUCO transfer from Crowder College. Was there from 2020 to 22, so he's a 5th-year senior. Is Holt. at first. Here comes Coach Kingston again.
Mark Kingston was upset about it, and I don't blame him, but as Mark Winters just didn't call it immediately. It was like Holt called it for him. And he's like, yeah, okay, that hit me.
It's a two-out RBI opportunity for Kendall Diggs. He was 0 for 3. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. That was in the 8th. 0-2 the count on Diggs. Crowd to its feet here at Founders Park. Another way foul. Jake McCoy, top of Ridge High School, All-State selection a season ago. Missing off the outside corner. Count evens at 2-2. Coy, who had originally signed a letter of intent with Wofford, was released from that after their head coach left for Boston College. His way to South Carolina. He got some draft attention as well. Teams were looking to sign him after the draft and the Wofford situation. Another young, talented arm for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, he's looked extremely good. He's got a very live arm. He's got to do a good job here of harnessing that emotion. Big moment in the game. Wants to keep it 2-1.
The count has run full. That will release the runners. They'll get a head start. Laughlin on second, Holt on first. 3-2. Lofted to left, Jones runs out of room. It's been a long, tough at-bat for Kendall Diggs against Jake McCoy. One-run game here in the top of the 9th. First and second, 2 down. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming. Missing outside. It's ball 4. Well, the bases are loaded for Arkansas.
I think we're going to see another pinch hitter, and the Gamecocks don't have a righty up.
Bases loaded, 2 down. The pinch hitter is Ryan Helfrich. Freshman from Discovery Bay, California, his 17th game of the season. The pinch hit on Wednesday against Texas Tech and walked. Played in a couple of games last weekend at Alabama. Just started in the finale, but he was 0 for 7 in the series. He's seen action in just about every SEC series this season. And hitting 140, has a couple of homers. One of those at Auburn, the other against James Madison. The one against JMU was his first college hit. It was also on his birthday. Volume rising here at Founders Park. The 2-2. Fly ball. Foul territory. Dive attempt from Causey. Great effort. Battle of freshmen, McCoy and Helfrich. Bases loaded, 2 down here in the top of the 9th. A 1-run game. Helfrich stays alive.
A great at bat here from Helfrich. Hear the drum going, getting the fans going, clapping their hands a little bit. Just get a little atmosphere here. Get them going.
What you were asking for,
yeah. You ask, you shall receive.
Grounded to third. LeCroy. Strong throw is in time to get Helfrich, and Arkansas will
pitched extremely well for Arkansas.
It's ball 1 at Talmadge. LeCroy. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. He walked and scored South Carolina's only run in the 5th. Count on LeCroy. One and two. LeCroy does a good job of getting on base. .434 on base percentage this season. 2-2 the count. His walk in the 5th extended his on-base streak to 10 games. Came into the series tied for 6th in the SEC in walks. Strikeout for Gackel. He gets LeCroy. Fourth strikeout for Gabe Gackel.
Frustration is definitely mounting for the Gamecock hitters. LeCroy, it's a great pitch there from Gackel, and I think he may have chirped a little bit at the umpire. It does seem there's definitely been some borderline pitches tonight that I feel like have definitely went Arkansas's way.
Blue not making any friends tonight.
No,
Founders Park.
No, he's not.
Brindling in the hole, 0-2. He's been on base a couple of times, walked in the 3rd, a sac bunt in the 5th, singled in the 7th. It's fouled off. Single in the 7th was the first hit of the season for Austin Brindling. Just hasn't had the opportunities this year after hitting .386 a season ago for North Florida. He began his career at Florida in 2020 in the SEC as a walk-on, and then COVID hit. Didn't play any games for the Gators in 2 seasons at JUCO Daytona State before transferring to North Florida, now South Carolina. Showing some patience, Kip, 2-2 the count.
Yeah, that pitch just a little bit off the plate there. See if he goes back to the slider. It's been really good for him tonight.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Gackel. He's got 5.
Yeah, and he goes with his 3rd pitch, the changeup there. Boy, that's got some late life to it, moving down and away from Brindling. Razorbacks now 1 out away from taking game 1 here in Columbia.
We're gonna have a pinch hitter for Will Tippett. This is Blake Jackson, junior from Texas and a transfer from Charlotte. Speed misses. Jackson did not play in the midweek at the Citadel or last weekend at Florida. His last game was April 9th against UNC.
I think you got to take a strike here.
Six from Gackel. 2-1 the count on Jackson. 247 hitter this season, 1 home run, 13 runs batted in. Home run was against USC Upstate. 2-2, South Carolina down to their final strike. Count is run full. 423 on base percentage for Jackson. He walks off and set the team record. Charlotte. Towards the gap, and it drops in for Jackson. Jones gets it in. It's a 2-out double for Blake Jackson. In scoring position for South Carolina.
That was the right call there, and pinch hitting Jackson there. You see him turn the motors on. Gets that fastball up in the zone, does a good job inside, outs it, hits it the other way. He stumbled a little bit going around first base and was able to kick it in 5th gear. Boy, he can fly, Dave. It is fun to watch that young man run.
He's driven in the only run of the game so far for South Carolina, an RBI ground out in the 5th. 21st ribby of the season. It takes ball 1.
Now, one thing interesting here is they put the winning run on first base, and that winning run's Cole Messina, who can run extremely well. So anything in the gap here, I got a feeling we'll be sending him home.
Jackson is on second, Cole Messina on first. 2-0 the count on Parker Noland. Two and one. And a .272 hitter, 3 homers, 22 driven in. Look really comfortable up there in the 2 spot. Kit, his team is 10-2 this season when Nolan bats second. Clutch veteran hitter at the plate. Count is full. Will release the runners. Jackson and Messina on the move. Grounder to the right side. McLaughlin will flip to Hewlett. And Arkansas defeats South Carolina 2-1. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Razorbacks. 1 run, 4